Professional footballers are frequent travelers by air, and the rapid adjustments to different time zones sometimes affect them, making it difficult for them to perform well during matches. In 2013, during the international break, top-flight footballer players logged significant travel distances, with a collective tally of 582,938 miles for national team commitments. During that time, Luis Suarez played 16,859 miles for Uruguay, and also had to fly back to feature for Liverpool in a Merseyside derby. While he could enjoy the luxury of a private jet, not all players had the privilege of flying. For example, in the same year, Everton's Brian Oviedo journeyed 22,200 miles to represent Costa Rica in Sydney, while Crystal Palace's Kagishigo Dikakoki embarked on a 11,268-mile trip for a South Africa game in Johannesburg, although he did not play. Human physiology is naturally well attuned to a synchronized 24-hour rhythm governed by exposure to sunlight. When your daily routine, including waking up in the morning, engaging in daytime activities, and going to bed at night remains consistent, your internal body clock aligns closely with the environmental time, resulting in a harmonious bodily rhythms. However, when one crosses 3 or more time zones, a misalignment occurs between the body's internal clock, its innate sense of time, and the local time cues, which can lead to disruptive effects if not properly managed. This phenomenon, largely associated with the convenience of modern airline travel, is commonly referred to as jet lag. But it doesn't end here. Air travel comes with a host of additional discomforts and challenges, such as check-in procedures, seating conditions, flight delays, high altitudes, dry cabin air, and more, all of which increase the impact of jet lag. Jet lag typically manifests through a range of symptoms, including disturbances in sleep patterns, mood alterations, reduced appetite, stomach discomfort, disorientation, and a general sense of unease. These symptoms will typically manifest when there is a disturbance in the harmony of the body's internal rhythms, and their severity tends to increase with the number of time zones crossed. In sports performance, there exists a natural rhythm that favors late afternoons and early evenings. Any deviation from these optimal times, as dictated by the body's internal clock, can lead to unfavorable outcomes. This phenomenon clarifies why West Coast teams often have an advantage when competing in nighttime games on the East Coast. For instance, a 9 p.m. game on the East Coast corresponds to a body clock time of only 6 p.m. for the West Coast team, a time when athletic performance is typically at its peak. Research conducted by Dr. Roberto Manfredini and his team focusing on circadian rhythms, athletic performance, and the impact of jet lag was able to show enough evidence that proves the sport's performance reaches its zenith between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. During this time frame, reaction times are quicker, grip strength and back strength are heightened, flexibility is increased, exercise endurance is prolonged, and the perception of physical exertion is lower compared to earlier in the day. Additionally, the early evening typically entails reduced joint stiffness and of pain when compared to the morning time. Apart from jet lag, footballers also suffer mentally during international breaks. Chelsea manager at the time, Jose Mourinho, expressed his frustration, emphasizing lack of information about his players' preparation and recovery during this period. His sentiments were echoed by many other Premier League managers, who find it challenging to quantify the precise impact of these breaks on the mental health of footballer and their performance. This period also presents challenges for domestic clubs, with training grounds sometimes eerily quiet and managers concerned about player injuries resulting from international duties. The effects of international breaks varies from club to club. For instance, Manchester City's squad collectively traveled 83,136 miles in 2013, in contrast to Swansea City's modest 2,724 miles. Chelsea players spent 1,560 minutes on the pitch for their national teams, while West Ham's squad played just 116 minutes. While top-tier teams typically possess the squad depth to handle these pressures, some clubs seem to respond better to the challenges of reintegration. According to the Opta statistics, since the 2012 European Championships, Fulham has fared the best after international breaks, averaging 2.22 points in matches immediately following these breaks, as opposed to their overall average of 1.08 points in all matches. Steve Tashtan, a senior sports scientist at Everton at the time, spent a lot of time diligently preparing their returning players for matches. He acknowledged the impact of extensive travel on Premier League player schedules, noting that its effects can vary. Some weeks it can profoundly and negatively impact performance, while in others it may have no noticeable impact. The outcome depends on factors such as the player's individual condition, the distance traveled, and their pre-travel fatigue. Drawing parallels to the American context, Major League Soccer, or MLS, teams face challenges in traveling across the country and adjusting to different time zones within their domestic division. This phenomenon has prompted research. Tasjan expressed their fortune during this specific break, as those who traveled long distances were experienced professionals accustomed to such demands. Chris Anderson, a football analyst, highlighted that research into the performance impact of Pacific Coast teams playing against East Coast teams away from their home is prevalent in MLS, the NFL, and NBA. While quantifying the exact effects remains challenging, there's a belief that such factors do influence performance. Tasjan also emphasized the potential benefits of players returning with increased confidence and younger players receiving more playing time. Everton provides players with strategies to mitigate jet lag, including adjustments to sleep and eating schedules, in-flight exercises to improve circulation and reduce stiffness, and nutritional guidance. It's worth noting that individual players exhibit varying responses to travel, with some recovering more quickly than others. Brendan Rodgers, who was Liverpool's manager at the time, highlighted the case of Luis Suarez, who has previously excelled on matches even after long trips. Recognizing that each player is unique, Tasjan emphasized the importance of understanding individual needs rather than dwelling on the inconveniences of travel. Everton encourages players to focus on what they'll enjoy about the experience. Tasjan concluded that fatigue can affect players even in youth internationals and under-16 matches, underscoring the significance of tailoring support to each individual's requirements. So what can be done to prepare players for jet lag? Preparing to combat jet lag can be tricky for footballers because of their busy schedules and limited flight options. Choosing the right flight times and layover periods can help them adjust more effectively. In the week leading up to their trip, players should change their training routines by reducing the amount and intensity of their workouts. They should also try to align their training schedule with the time zone of their destination. It's crucial to get enough sleep, which typically means 6 to 8 hours each night. Studies have shown that proper sleep leads to better athletic performance, so players should aim to catch up on any sleep they may have missed. When traveling, to minimize travel fatigue and jet lag, consider the following tips. Wear comfortable shoes and clothing. Avoid consuming large meals. Stay hydrated by drinking water. Steer clear of alcohol and caffeine. Set your watch to the time of your destination. Aim to rest and sleep as much as possible. Try to follow the sleep and wake schedule of your destination. Minimize distractions, such as using electronic devices. When you're awake, take breaks to stretch and walk around. Traveling footballers and teams can experience travel fatigue and jet lag, along with potential challenges like exposure to allergens, harmful germs, and unfamiliar environments and cultures at their destination. The severity of these issues varies from person to person based on their ability to cope with changes in their body's internal clock. While uncertainties persist about how to adjust the body's circadian rhythm, jet lag can be managed by strategically using or avoiding light exposure, taking melatonin supplements, and timing exercise and meals appropriately. Additionally, to ensure smooth and uncomplicated travel, it's essential to pay close attention to environmental conditions and implement measures to prevent illnesses. The key to success in managing these challenges lies in careful and thorough planning.